This section, parallel lines and transversals, we've already learned. It wasn't part of our assignment before, but I showed you anyway. Remember, if you've got two or more lines, and I told you this before, that all the stuff we're going to do, pretty much all the stuff, in the rest of the book, these lines will be parallel. So they have arrows on there to show that they're parallel. So if there is a line cutting through it, remember that's called a transversal. A lot of times these are labeled L, M, N, small a, small b, whatever. And they form 8 angles. So, I think, looking at the assignments anyway, you guys are all pretty comfortable with naming corresponding angles, alternate exterior, alternate interior. If you can do that, then this is easy. All this section now tells us, which I've already told you, is when you have this, all of the corresponding angles are congruent, which means 1 and 5 will be equal to each other if the lines are parallel, which they will be parallel. 2 and 6 will be congruent, 3 and 7, and 4 and 8 are congruent. Alternate exterior angles are congruent. 8 and 2 will equal each other, 1 and 7 will equal each other. Alternate interior angles are congruent. 3 and 5, 4 and 6 equal each other. So the one that's not is the same side interior. Remember, that's called consecutive interior sometimes. Same side interior, you can look and see. 3 is over 90, 6 is less than 90. They're not equal to each other, but they are, if you had to guess,
On the same side?
they are on the same side, but as far as their values, they're not equal.
They add to
90, 180.
Well, this one's over 90, so they can't add up to 90.
180.
They add up to 180, they're supplementary. Okay? So, in this picture, that's what all these theorems are telling us.
Nice.
Corresponding angles are congruent, alternate interior angles are congruent, consecutive interior angles are supplementary, they add up to 180, alternate exterior. So if you know one angle in this picture, which a lot of your problems will be like this, say we know this is 110, you can find every other angle.
Yes, you can.
The other 7 angles, there's only 2 choices. They're either going to be 110 or
80, 70.
70. Because 2 has to be 70 because it's a linear pair.
Right.
3 has to be 110 because it's vertical. 4 has to be 70 for vertical angles and linear pairs. And then if you use all this, right, they're all corresponding. 110, 70, 110, 70. And again, alternate interior are the same, alternate exterior are the same side interior add up to 180. So, on these pictures, any 2 angles will either equal each other or add up to 180. Okay? This one is, it's just a common sense one. If a transversal is perpendicular to one line that's parallel to another line, this one also has to be perpendicular, right? Because they're corresponding angles. So, here's some of the problems we're going to do. Is they're just going to give you one angle, and you got to find the missing angles. So, if 1 is 118, 4 is 118 because they're alternate exterior. 3 is 118 because they're corresponding. 1 and 2 are a linear pair. So everyone know how to find that?
Oh yeah. Take it away from 180.
Take it away from 180, so that'd be 62, which means this has to be 62.
Nice.
because they're alternate interior, they gotta be the same. In this picture, it's hard to see, they've got a parking lot. Here's a line, and then here's the parking spots.
Oh, I see.
And right there, it tells us that this angle is 80. So if this is 80 from here to here, do you know what this angle would be?
Oh, yeah,
What?
it would be
It's either gonna be 80 or 100.
100, just 100.
It's gonna be 100, because
Supplement.
they are same side interior angles to these two parallel lines.
And then we do the same for the others.
Now you can, as long as you remember, any two angles will either equal each other or add up to 180. You can tell visually, this angle is less than 90, this one is not. So that means it can't be 80, the same as that, which means the only other choice is it's gotta be its supplement, it's gotta be 100. So once again, just to make sure you know it, if this is 53 right here, 7 is 53, because it's alternate interior. And then 8 and 9 will be the same, they're both supplements to 7, right?
Yeah. 100.
So 127.
Ooh.
Then we get into some with the algebra. Half your assignment today is just easy numbers like this, where you gotta find one missing angle or two. The other half is you gotta write an equation. And again, your equation, they're either gonna equal each other or they're gonna add up to 180. So, when we're looking at this, we're gonna find the value of x. Right there. We know this angle is 39 right now. So, is this angle equal to 39, or will it be supplementary with 39?
That will be supplementary.
You can, hopefully, everyone can tell they're not equal. That's greater than 90, that's less than 90. So that's your equation. Since they're not equal, you know if you add them up, 7x plus 1 plus 39, they have to equal 180. So you solve it, add the 1 and 39, so you just have to subtract 40 and divide by 7. Subtract 40, we get 140. So then when you divide by 7, you get 20. 3x, is it gonna be equal to 90 or supplementary with 90?
That will equal.
They're corresponding angles, so they're equal. So I know then that 3x has to equal 90. That's a simple one. Just divide by 3 and you get 30. These two, are they equal or do they add up to 180? They're equal because they're alternate exterior.
Yes.
So you set them equal to each other. 10x minus 50 has to equal 7x plus 1. So get the x's together on one side. It's a plus, so you minus 7x. Get the non-x's to the other side. It's a minus, so you add it.
Nice.
And then divide by 3, and you get 17.
So if they're crossing each other, it's equal to, and if they're not, it's equal to 180.
Well, if they're corresponding, alternate exterior, alternate interior, or vertical angles, which are equal to each other. But if they're not any of those, then they add up to 180. Which you can kind of see. Just say, for example, they wanted this angle here. If you look at these two, the blue angle and the green angle obviously are not equal to each other, right?
Right.
This one's smaller than that one. So since they're not equal, that means they would have to add up to 180. Make sense? So, on your assignment, it says to find the missing angle and explain what you did. They want you to say what reason it is, but you don't have to do that.
Yes.
All we got to do is find what value the angle is.